This is my condo, and I'm on my way to Lake Atitlan in Guatemala.
I have rented this condo in Antigua, Guatemala for a month. The condo is in a gated community, so all outside issues are removed once inside. The way for tourists to get around is by tuk-tuk, Uber, taxi, minibus, chicken bus, or Greyhound bus. For me, the best way to go to Lake Atitlan is by minibus.
This is my first view of the beautiful Lake Atitlan.
Arriving at Lake Atitlan took about 45 minutes, and the adventure was about to begin. I had to board a small boat for the short voyage to Santa Cruz La Laguna. Boarding the small boat became a challenge because it was full in the front and I had to enter from the rear, which meant the gap between the pier and the back of the boat was very high, so I sort of fell into the boat. Then when I got into the boat, it was very small space and I could barely get over the seat to sit down, and then my head was only a couple of inches above, rather below the overhead. As you can see, the lake is developed with single-family homes as well as resorts. The climate is near perfect, with highs in the 70s and lows in the 50s. The next morning, I rose to a beautiful sunrise and then went into the city for breakfast. My guide, Erwin, was an American from Chicago, but he turned out to be a very good guide. He explained to me about the history of the city, specifically this church, and the buildings and some of the things that they're doing to help the local civilians. The view from the cafe where we had breakfast was spectacular. The entire caldera is almost visible. The caldera was formed 84,000 years ago, and the water comes from two rivers that flow into the depth of the volcano basin. There's no outlet, so none of the water reaches the Pacific Ocean. I appreciate my guide, Erwin, who took me around and spent the full day with me and letting me see all the sights. It was very rewarding, and I appreciated his help. This time, sitting in front of the boat, the ride back to town to return to Antigua was uneventful. It was a beautiful ride, and it was my last chance to see the three volcanoes, and it was a beautiful sight. What was left was a trek up a steep hill, and the elevation here is over 5,000 feet. So there was a good bit of huffing and puffing on my part to reach the minibus to return to Antigua. Had a great time.